Welcome to my tutorial on sublimation using infusible ink. Today we're making a makeup bag. Here's your supply list for this project. You can pause the video here so you can get all your materials together. I really wanted to show you and spend more time on was the sublimation, because I've gotten some questions on sublimation when I post a project here and there. So I want to show you a couple things. Sublimation is, let me get a sample here. Sublimation is the use of infusible ink, actually in its very basic form. Sublimation is the use of infusible ink sheets on a material. You can get very deep and complicated into it with printer that has sublimation ink. So you print your own designs and put them on materials. I'm starting at the very basic level. If you don't have a Cricut, you can do this. If you have, just an iron or a heat press or something, you can do this. So I was trying to start really at square one. So let me introduce you to infusible ink sheets and what happens with them. Infusible ink can be adhered to a sublimation ready surface. So for instance, I have makeup bags and we're doing one today, but this makeup bag was sublimation ready, which means that there's a coating on it that allows the sublimation to adhere to the fabric. The good thing about it is that it's not like a Cricut vinyl. It literally merges with the fabric like ink. I mean, it is ink, but it's smooth and there's no differentiation between the surface and the letters. So it's basically infused, infusible ink into the surface. There are lots of things that can have infusible ink surfaces on them, one being glass. So you can take an infusible ink sheet and literally wrap it around a glass, put it in a heat press mug, and completely change a white mug to a delightfully patterned mug. So you can do that with no tools. You can buy the sheets, cut it down to the mug, a sublimation ready mug, tape it on there and heat it, and basically do a mug without any tools. However, what I'm doing is I took the sublimation sheet and I ran it through my Cricut. So in order to get a name on this, you're going to cut the sheet on your Cricut in mirror mode. And the reason we're doing that in mirror mode, right? So here's the sheet that I cut out already, is so that when you put it on your sheet, it's in the right orientation. So here's the sheet when it was plain, right? When it looked like this. I ran it through the Cricut in mirror mode. Megan, hi! And then I turned it I flipped it down onto the surface, and I'm ready to adhere a sublimation sheet to a sublimation ready surface. So what I did here was I cut the letters out on my Cricut and I removed everything around the letters. So I left the letters on the transfer paper, left the letters on there, removed everything else. When you use infusible ink, you can do the opposite. So for example, here's an infusible ink sheet, and I took instead of leaving the letters, I took the letters off. Now I can wrap this sheet around a mug and create a completely inked mug that has somebody's name on it. Just so happens to have Donna's name on it because Donna requested it on my on my post this afternoon when I said leave a name if you want a thing. So there's the infusible ink. I put it on my Cricut. I printed this out in reverse and I removed the letters. Now I can wrap it around something. I can lay it on something, and everywhere where there's ink is going to transfer to the surface. On this one, I did the opposite. I cut the letters out and I removed everything except the letters. And in doing so, wherever there's ink left, that's what's going to go on the surface. So I'm going to show you that by switching over to just about heated up on my heat press. I'm going to switch this over so you can see my desk. And I'm going to talk about the surface a little bit. For fabric, infusible ink can go through the material. So whether or not I use an infusible ink sheet or I print it out on myself and make my own infusible ink sheet on my sublimation printer, I can still get the ink to go through the surface. So if you're making a bag for someone or a t-shirt, you're going to want to make sure that you put some paper in between, and I'm using butcher paper, in between wherever the fabric is touching something else, because it could potentially go through. Just depends on the heat that you're using. Can you sublimate on anything? You can sublimate on anything that is sublimation ready. I buy a lot of surfaces sublimation ready. You can also sublimate on anything that's polyester. So 100% polyester will take sublimation. Oh, the possibilities are endless. Anything that's polyester will take sublimation. The less polyester you get, the less vibrant the ink will become on that surface. So if you do 65% polyester and the rest is cotton, it will still work. It will just be less vibrant. If you do 40% polyester, it will be pretty faint and it may wash out quickly. And if you do 100% cotton, it's really not going to work correctly. We can really go down a rabbit hole with this because there are sublimation sprays where you can make any surface sublimation ready. That's a whole different thing because it's gunky and it can be hard to use. It can be easy to use too, but sublimation ready surfaces are the way to go. So this is a sublimation ready makeup bag. I have a piece of paper in it, and I am going to put a name on it now. One of the things I like to do, is, what was that thing? Is I'm going to use a piece of tape just to get anything off the surface that might have been on there. Because if you put the ink on, let's say, random glitter that's floating around in my room, you will kind of sink that glitter right into the ink and it will stay in there too. I'm just going to eyeball setting it up, but you can see that there. I'm sorry, the light is very bright. It's the paper is behind it. And then before I hit it with the heat for 1 minute, I'm going to cover it again with another piece of paper. All right. Now, you remember this bag? It looked like this. It also had a zipper on it. So the other thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to protect that zipper from my heat press by not being directly on it this time. I'm just going to be a little bit past the zipper. All right. So this is a Cricut press. It's I think this is a 12 by 12. Let's see what we got here. All right, so there is the okay, and then I'm gonna remove the paper. Oh, Mary Ellen. Now it looks like I have a little bit of whiteness there. I can go back and kind of remarry that color back on there. Let me try that. The other letters won't matter because the ink is already off of them. Let me see if I can fix that. And you know why that happened? Because I was trying to stay away from the zipper and didn't have it high enough on the bag. These bags I get from Amazon, they actually come in a rainbow of colors. See those? And then I constantly have material to make somebody a gift. But they also come with canvas bags. Much better. They also come with matching canvas bags. I still miss the R, but I can go back. It's really cute. Oh, I didn't miss the R. There's no more ink on here. It's a varied color. All right, so we're going to leave that. So there you have it. What I didn't realize was the pattern itself has white in it. It looked like this, the pattern. So I have some white spots in the letters because the pattern itself had white in it. That's adorable. That came out great. And then then what I did was, I don't know if you watched my mail the other day, but I got this amazing kit of charms and charm pieces and O-rings and the pliers and whatnot. And so what I'm going to do is, aside from using them for chapsticks, I got these great little charms that I'm going to attach to other things. And so I have a purple charm that's going to match this one. This one had a pink one. And I don't know, charms are like everywhere now, so I think they're a must-have now on a project like this. And I'm going to just attach it to the zipper. These are easy to use. This particular brand even is a little too easy to use. Like I can bend it without the pliers. I really should take pliers to open those up. And there you go. So there's that bag with her matching charm on there. We'll send that off to Mary Ellen. And then spoiler alert for Sherry, obviously somebody named Sherry. If she's here, it's a spoiler alert for her if she's actually here, that I'm sending her this in the mail. Thank you for joining me for this tutorial. Please leave any questions in the comment space below. And don't forget to like, follow, and share. Thanks for watching.